Hello there! February 2024 is absolutely packed with amazing video games. It's so stacked that February has an extra day, 29 days long. This is the series we go over the best games of the month with a sprinkling of terrible dad jokes. Today's video is sponsored by Focus Entertainment and their upcoming ghost hunting RPG Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. We'll look at that very soon. February, new games, let's do this. The biggest game of the month is the next installment in the Final Fantasy VII trilogy, Rebirth. After shocking players by changing the course of events, the Avalanche crew return to track down Sephiroth, who plans to become a god. The plot points from the original game will be here but remixed, allowing hardcore fans a new experience as well as new players. Rebirth will arrive on 2 discs and will take over 100 hours to complete the main story and side quests, as Final Fantasy is starting to embrace open world elements. The combat will continue with real-time switching between party members, and this game will introduce more characters to choose from, including the one-winged angel himself in flashbacks, and a cat riding a robot Moogle, because Final Fantasy is equal parts amazing and strange. The synergy moves seen in the DLC for Yuffie are back again and have 2 of your party members team up to produce a super move, which looks amazing. The ending of the last game suggests 2 realities are running parallel with each other, which almost guarantees we'll all need help understanding the story. And I, for one, cannot wait! Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, dropping on the last day of the month, February 29th. A $30, €30, £25 game I think you should be aware of is Pacific Drive. Get this, it's a driving game which is also a roguelike. We venture out in the hopes of finding upgrades for our vehicle, and then we take them back to our garage to add them. We can scrap and salvage parts to improve our ride, and now here's the bit that impressed me. These lands here are part of the exclusion zone, which has unworldly shenanigans occurring constantly. It starts off by veering off-road to avoid obstacles, but after a while it's about surviving as long as possible to salvage tech you never thought existed. Deeper into this drive, you'll question everything. Pacific Drive is coming to PlayStation 5 and PC on February 22nd. Take a look at Banishers Ghosts of New Eden, a story-driven action RPG where your decisions have dramatic consequences. We play as a pair of ghost hunters sworn to protect the living from the unruly dead. In third person, we are armed with conventional weaponry like swords and rifles, and also the supernatural with magic and spiritual abilities. Working in unison, our duo, Red and Antea, uncover and solve haunting cases that can lead to life and death action scenes or morally ambiguous decisions. And that's where the story takes a turn, as Antea here is no longer in the land of the living. She's now a ghost, the very same thing we swore an oath to banish. Do we adhere to the code? Do we seek out our revenge, or find a way to resurrect her? As the game plays out, the choices we make impact the direction of the story. And look who the dev behind Banishers is. Don't Nod, the very same studio that gave us Life is Strange and Vampire. It's safe to say the story will have more than one ending, giving us the thing I adore most about good video games: replayability. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden comes to PS5, Xbox Series and PC on February 13th. Have you been keeping up with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? A games-as-a-service looter-shooter set in the Batman Arkham universe. This game has an aura of distrust as the previews were so scathing that review codes have not been given out pre-launch. That aside, the idea here and the storytelling looks solid to me. Brainiac has taken over the Justice League. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman and co, they're all under his control, which means the bad guys are suddenly the ones we're cheering for. We finally get to take out the iconic heroes, and I think that concept alone is worth attention. I've played a few hours and I've got to admit the moment-to-moment gameplay, at least in the early game, was not as captivating as I hoped, but I don't think I played long enough to really understand the upgrade system and the modifiers. Each of our 4 anti-heroes has their own mode of transport and fighting style, like Cap's boomerang throw into a teleport compared to Deadshot's thruster pack. We then incrementally upgrade our weapons like Destiny and most other looter shooters to force our way through grunts and boss fights. Suicide Squad officially drops on February 2nd on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series and PC, but early access is available to those who spend a little more cash and get the deluxe edition. Will you be jumping in or waiting for reviews? Foamstars is coming to PS4 and PS5 this month as part of the PS Plus Essential lineup, so technically it's a free game. The visual inspiration is Splatoon with bubbles. Teams of 4 take part in 4 different game modes where bubbles are the weapon and the mode of transport. Each team is coloured differently and you'll travel faster on your own squad's bubbles and slower on the opposition's. This party shooter is also a hero shooter as the main roster has 8 players, each with their own abilities and weapons, and their own charisma and character too. And that's where the game plans to grab you, customizing your chosen hero. It's the constant drip of new things to unlock. As this is a PlayStation exclusive, it's gonna need some dedicated players to stay relevant. I hope it finds enough people to thrive. Dropping on PS Plus on February 6th. Okay, so last month I said there was a high possibility that Hawked would release on console in January-February time. That has remained a mystery, but thanks to a Twitter conversation, it looks like February is the desired date, as there is a February event on the PC version, and it's confirmed that console players will be part of that event too. So I'm allowing myself to get hyped. Hawked is an extraction shooter with an art style I really like. In teams of 3, we travel to an island with a secret vault to be opened. By solving clues and mini puzzles, we fight our way to the treasure and then try to escape in one piece. All the while, other groups of real players have the same mission in mind. I highly enjoyed the beta last year, so please keep an eye out for Hawked coming very soon. I had 2 other free games planned to tell you about this month. The return of Multiverses, which is surprisingly still completely quiet right now, even though literal McDonald's kids meals have been seen advertising the game, and Multiverses has a release date of early 2024. And I also thought we'd be talking about X-Defiant about now, which continues to be tested behind closed doors, again with an early 2024 release date. I'll keep you updated on both. Finally, a little experience for you. Interaction isn't explicit. Okay, it's not a great title, but if I was still a games design lecturer, I would definitely use this in my teachings. It's a short game that goes over some of the core mechanics we gamers instantly understand, and some of the best case scenarios, from BioShock or even Shadow of the Colossus. And there's also some really easy trophies for your efforts. It's a clever look at games design through play, but the title really sucks. Interaction Isn't Explicit is available to experience right now on PS5. Let's go back to priced games and a $40 game, Helldivers 2. We play as one of the elite soldiers sworn to protect humanity from alien threats, taking much inspiration from the Starship Troopers movie in tone. Playing in third person, we and our squad planet jump and need to communicate to manage the enemy hordes. And it's useful to note that friendly fire is on right away. Those moments a teammate walks across your path are now very important moments. It's gonna hurt for sure. The chaos will be interspersed with mission objectives like remembering a code for a generator or finding the launch code for a rocket, or something like using a certain weapon to take out a boss. The upgrade system has us searching for samples in-game and being awarded medals for victory, which upgrade our ship and our arsenal. Helldivers 2 hits PC and PS5 on February 8th. Another huge Japanese game series is Persona, with over 20 games so far, and the next one is a remake of Persona 3. Persona 3 Reload takes us back to high school as daily experiments by an evil corporation cause these dark hours to occur, where everyone sleeps in a coffin. Yet a small group of students are not affected. They decide to band together and become a hit squad to take down those experiments. Combat takes place in turn-based fashion and is only half the focus of the game. As the other half, it's a social life sim, using a calendar structure to build relationships and stay up to date with schoolwork. And then when night falls, it's back to battle through dungeons. Persona 3 Reload drops on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, the Xboxes and PC on February 2nd. We've already covered 10 games, but there are even more dropping throughout February, like Tomb Raider 1-3 Remastered starring Lara Croft. The iconic OG trilogy of Tomb Raider games has been given a little polish and updated to be replayed on modern platforms. PS4 and 5, the Xboxes, PC and Switch. Next, an action RPG, Granblue Fantasy Relink, almost 8 years after it was announced. Finally it's here and it's grown into a massive role-playing game. We play as the captain of this airship as we travel between worlds and unique biomes with our crew. Each of these civilizations can be guarded by a primal beast, and you've guessed it, we've got to take them all out or nullify them before the game's villain uses the primal beasts for something nefarious. Finally, Skull and Bones arrives on February 16th, a spin-off from Assassin's Creed Black Flag from over a decade ago. We play as a lawless pirate on the open seas, battling to become as notorious as possible. The core mechanic is sailing and harnessing the wind to travel, and then using those skills in naval battle, as cannonballs fire across the water. Okie dokie, the rules right now state that I owe you a couple of dad jokes. I was in an airport with my friend last week. He said we should disguise ourselves as luggage. I said, calm down mate, let's not get carried away. And what do you call a factory that makes okay products? A satisfactory. Yeah, it's terrible, sorry. Let's end with a Lion King joke. Simba and his mother were walking in the jungle and Simba was going too slow, so she shouted back, "Move faster!" Move faster, move faster, move faster. I'm so sorry I wasted your time with those jokes. I'm Adam, you're awesome, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time.